Porsche 911 or the 718? Which one is the best overall? And maybe for you, let's find out. Let's go. As for the front comparison, you can clearly see that the 911 is a little bit wider. So here the 718, the smaller model. And you have a little bit more round shapes right here. In this new generation of the 911, they have cut it out here in the front in a more rectangular way. This is a quote of one of the past models, so a retro styling element. Same goes also for those round headlamps. This is really characteristically for the 911. Here they also are not exactly round headlamps, and to me that's why also the 911 looks a little bit better in the front. That's my personal opinion. 4.38 m versus 4.52 m in length. That's 172 inches versus 178 inches. So it's not such a big of a length difference. So it's more the width difference where we could clearly see that the 911 is actually the bigger car. You can see that the front hood is a little bit lower overall with the 718. 20-inch wheels here. There are also smaller ones available. However, 20-inch is minimum for the 911. And here we also have with the new generation mixed tires. So 20-inch in the front, 21-inch in the rear at this vehicle. I love this spider design we have here. It's also somewhat retro style. Really love it. Also very interesting to take a look at those here from the rear. By the way, those ones here are real exhaust for the Boxster. And those tips here on the rear, this is just a beauty exhaust. The real exhaust is on the inside. The overall styling here, definitely more massive with the 911. What I personally like is this round style. It looks a little bit more seamless, so to say. We see more design elements right here. But at the other hand, this one here looks a little bit sleeker and sportier. Interesting also here that those tail lamps, they are in this dual horizontal fin design and is carried out over here to the Porsche badge. Very interesting. But also lovely that we have this light strip at the 911 that goes all the way through. And now we turned them rear to rear that you get another perspective. And we also want to take a look at the roof closing process and how they look like then when they are closed. For that, I have to use the force to be able to close both roofs at the same time. Yeah, I think the force is still strong in me. So which process do you like better? And how do you prefer the cars now when they have the roof closed? Which one is your favorite? Use the force, young Padawan. Well, the most important comparison for today, the trunk comparison. Yeah, that's what it's all about with driving a Porsche, isn't it? So, and interesting, here in the front, so the lower side is a little bit higher than 40 centimeters, or 43, and the high side, yeah, depending from here or here, yeah, it's about 60 centimeters, and the width in the lower end is about 65 centimeters. So you can fit some, cabin trollers in there, backpack, no problem. And what about here with the 911 now? 60, 40, 65. That's exactly the same. Well, the 718 has an additional rear trunk in the rear, and that one is the real practical one, so you can still fit a cabin trolley in here like this, or some backpacks or something, and also fluid access then to the engine. We cannot see anything else from the engine, has to be serviced from below. And the really interesting thing is here, this is an easy release, so when you close or open it, so you hit the key or from the inside or so, then it's like this, and you cannot open it just like this. Whereas the frunks on both cars, they need this special release. So I think this is the more practical approach instead of using the frunk and also the rear bench, which we now see with the 911. Now let's get inside. Here the door handles, they go up a little bit, and I think it's good to have real door handles still. You will soon see what I mean. Here again, another seat perspective right there with the nice fabric. Once more before I get inside. Of course, you sit quite low. That's totally normal for a sports car. And, you know, this seat here, it really has a nice form to keep you tight. There's also this sport bucket seat available, but that one has even less comfort. And here for the 718, there's even a base sport seat available that's a little bit less sporty than this one. So it is somehow a perfect seating position here. You are just one with the vehicle, and there's also enough space for tall people, no problem. Even if the roof would be closed, I still have, space above my head. That's no problem at all. It's just that, on long-term rides, you can get this lower back fatigue. So, for example, recently in the BMW Z4, I found that one way more comfortable, especially when driving long-term. So I really appreciate this super sporty seating position. It's perfect. But then again, yeah, it's not the most comfortable car, at least from my experience. What's your experience on that one? So one more look here at those seats here. They have a similar form. All Porsche seats are somehow similar formed. But will it be different from the seating position? Of course, all electric controls right there, and both steering wheels can also be controlled electrically. Here, this electric button right there at the moment, the car is not powered. So, and here, well, the funny thing is, you feel that you would be sitting lower. But I think it's rather also because the dashboard is a little bit higher. It is somehow a little bit bigger, especially just a little bit wider. You feel that when sitting here, so the seat is a little bit wider, definitely. But still, because it has this sporty building style, you don't feel so much that you would have more room. So it's not like you sit down and say, oh, that's totally a different segment. It is a little bit different, yes. Here, for example, the A-pillar is also thicker. But I would not say, at the first experience here directly, one-to-one, that I would have more comfort in this one. Yeah, maybe a little bit more space in the width, but the seats are not more comfortable than this one. And now we have the direct interior comparison, starting here with the 718. This one here, the 718T, therefore we have some special features. You can see it at the inside of both doors, for example. You have those handles here, which are more basic race style. Very interesting. Then also the dashboard is not covered in animal skin, but it is soft touch, but looks quite good. Then we also have a special fabric seat here. This is also the best choice for this vehicle. Unfortunately, the rest parts here, they are not leatherette, but real animal. So I think they also could have gone for leatherette, then it would be completely animal free. Yeah, we know, but at least it's a big step forward, definitely. And also the steering wheel here is from Alcantara, a very nice option. You can also pick from normal 718s. Have a very good grip for that. And since the most recent facelift, there's a bigger screen right there, here with the touch, and there's also Apple CarPlay connection available. It will appear right there when the phone is connected via cable. Still a lot of hotkey buttons right there to access the map and so on. The temperature control is right here. Then either a manual gearbox or a PDK, the both is available actually. So from the 718 cockpit, we switch over to the one of the 911, and you can see it has a horizontal layout, is more stressed in that way, like a hole in there with a widescreen setup there, and also here all digital except of the analog meter in the very middle part, and the middle console in the lower area is also a little bit wider. Then this new shifting lever here, which looks like a small brown shaver, very interesting, but a nice metal knurling here also on those knobs for temperature, for example. And now we will compare the sound. We will turn on the engine, then rev it a little bit from the normal exhaust mode, then turn on the special exhaust mode on both vehicles. They both have that, so we can compare both modes on both cars and see which one sounds better.